Let's get straight to it. The market is disconnected from fundamentals because political action is the primary driver. Here's the framework for navigating the next 1 to 2 weeks.
This right here, this is the whole story. It signals a complete regime change for investors. We're moving away from free market dynamics and into state-backed capitalism. Your strategy has to adapt, period.
All right, here's how we'll break it down. We'll look at the political drivers, map the macro risks, find the sector winners and losers, lay out the scenarios, and then talk strategy.
3 core events are moving the tape today. And listen, none of them have to do with corporate earnings. This is all coming directly from government action.
Now, don't think of these as just isolated headlines. This is a global trend of state intervention. And what that does is create very specific opportunities alongside huge correlated risk.
Okay, let's pull up the calendar. These are the dates and data points that absolutely matter for risk management going forward.
We're on day 20 of the U.S. government shutdown. Why does that matter? Furloughed workers and delayed SNAP benefits. That's a direct hit to consumer spending, and it's going to show up in the GDP numbers.
China's Q3 GDP, that 4.8%, according to Fox Business, is the weakest print in a year. That puts immediate pressure on global growth and, of course, commodity demand.
9 senior Chinese military officers purged. This is a huge move, and it creates massive uncertainty around leadership stability and policy direction from our biggest economic rival.
So you see the picture here. The world's 2 largest economies are both dealing with some really potent internal risks. You have paralysis in the US and turmoil in China. This is the backdrop for every single allocation decision you make right now.
Mark these 3 dates down: late October, October 31st, and November 21st. These are your critical volatility windows. They're going to drive headline risk.
So the real question is, how does this all translate into actual tickers and sectors? This is where you'll see the market really start to split.
The U.S. is actively picking winners. It's a clear 3-step playbook. First, they identify a strategic sector. Then, they pump public money into it. And finally, they try to create a national champion. The whole goal is to secure critical supply chains.
And this table just lays it all out. Government action is creating a 2-tiered market. You've got one tier that's being explicitly supported, and you've got another that's either being ignored or actively hurt by all the political drama. Your positioning has to reflect this new reality.
This content is for educational purposes only. It's aggregated analysis from multiple public sources to help you stay informed and improve your own decision-making. Do your own research. This is not financial advice.
Okay, so we know the drivers and the sectors. Now, let's game out how this could actually play out. We'll look at 3 potential scenarios: base, bull, and bear.
You need a plan for all 3 paths. And the triggers for the bull and bear cases, they aren't subtle. They are clear political outcomes tied directly to those key dates we just talked about.
The bull thesis is pretty simple. Political deals get done, it de-risks the market, and this industrial policy actually works. The bear thesis is just as clear. Political failure causes real economic damage, and this whole state-backed experiment leads to waste and inefficiency.
So, given all this binary risk, using risk-defined option structures is just the logical way to play it. Let's look at 2 educational examples of how you might express a view on these themes.
The debit spread is a key tool for a market like this. It lets you make a directional bet, but it caps your max loss. That's absolutely critical when a single headline can whip the market around.
All right, setup number 1. This is a way to play the national champion thesis on a name like INTC. Using a call debit spread lets you define your risk from the start. It's a bet that the government's backing is going to keep pulling in capital.
And setup number 2 is a broad market hedge, a put debit spread on the SPY. This is designed to protect a long portfolio if we get a sharp, politically driven move down. It's a short-term structure designed to exploit the headline risk around those key calendar dates.
Not trading advice, just a market update to keep you informed. Markets carry risk. Trade your plan, manage downside, and verify all data.
And that really is the central question for the market right now. Is all this government backing a safety net, or is it a single point of failure? The answer is going to determine the next major trend.